Most people spend their lives chasing comfort, but very few people ever stop to ask what comfort really means. Bigger homes, more technology, more products, more conveniences were supposed to make life easier. Yet many people feel more overwhelmed, more distracted, and less satisfied than ever before. Welcome back to Contain Your Life. Today, we are looking at something deeper than houses, money, or possessions. We are looking at comfort itself. What actually makes a home and a life feel peaceful, stable, and satisfying? The surprising answer is that comfort has very little to do with size, status, or how many things a person owns. Psychologists and behavioral researchers have studied happiness and satisfaction for decades. One consistent finding appears again and again. After basic needs are met, more possessions do not significantly increase long-term happiness. This idea is often called the hedonic treadmill. It means people quickly adapt to new purchases, new environments, and new conveniences. What once felt exciting quickly becomes normal. Imagine someone buying a large home filled with new furniture, new appliances, and the latest technology. At first, it feels exciting and impressive. But after a few months, that excitement fades. The house becomes normal. The objects become ordinary. The bills remain. Now imagine a different kind of home. A calm space with fewer distractions, comfortable light, natural materials, and a layout that supports daily life instead of complicating it. This kind of environment supports what psychologists call environmental comfort. It reduces stress, improves focus, and supports emotional stability. Research in environmental psychology shows that physical spaces strongly influence mood, motivation, and concentration. Rooms with natural light, open space, simple organization, and comfortable movement patterns tend to create a sense of calm. Cluttered spaces filled with excessive objects can increase stress and mental fatigue. One reason for this is something called cognitive load. The human brain constantly processes visual information. Every object, color, sound, and movement competes for attention. When an environment contains too many stimuli, the brain must work harder just to filter information. Over time, this leads to mental exhaustion. Look at a typical modern living room filled with electronics, decorations, cables, shelves, screens, and furniture. Now compare it to a room with fewer objects, open walking space, natural lighting, and organized storage. Even without thinking about it, the simpler room feels calmer. The brain processes less information. Consumer culture often pushes the opposite message. Advertisements constantly suggest that buying more products will improve life. More storage containers, more decorations, more devices, more upgrades. Yet each new object adds another layer of visual noise and responsibility. The result is something many people experience today. Homes filled with things, but lives filled with stress. Comfort is not created by accumulation. Comfort is created by alignment. When space, objects, routines, and priorities support daily life instead of competing with it. One of the first steps toward creating real comfort is observation. Look at your environment and ask simple questions. Which spaces feel calm and useful? Which spaces feel crowded or difficult to use? Which objects actually improve daily life? And which objects simply occupy space? Many people discover that a large percentage of what they own does not actively contribute to comfort or function. It simply remains because it was purchased, inherited, or stored without intention. Another important factor is lighting. Research shows that exposure to natural light improves mood, sleep patterns, and energy levels. Homes that allow daylight to enter living areas often feel more welcoming and more energizing. Simple design choices such as window placement, light-colored surfaces, and open layouts can dramatically change how a space feels. Movement inside the home also matters. Architects often talk about circulation patterns. This refers to how people move from one area to another. When pathways are clear and rooms connect naturally, daily activities become easier. When furniture blocks movement or rooms feel cramped, frustration increases even if the house itself is large. Comfort is also strongly influenced by routine. Psychologists studying motivation often explain that people function best when environments support predictable habits. A kitchen that is organized logically encourages cooking. A workspace with minimal distractions encourages focus. A bedroom with limited electronics encourages better sleep. This is one reason many people feel overwhelmed in modern life. Homes are filled with competing functions. Living rooms become offices. Bedrooms become entertainment centers. Kitchens become storage areas. When spaces lose clear purpose, daily life becomes harder. Real comfort often comes from simplifying roles. A place for work, a place for rest, a place for cooking, a place for conversation. Even in smaller homes, clearly defined spaces help the mind transition between activities. Another overlooked factor is maintenance. Every object requires attention. Cleaning, repairing, organizing, storing, replacing. When homes contain too many objects, maintenance becomes endless. People spend more time managing things than enjoying their lives. Researchers studying lifestyle satisfaction often find that reducing unnecessary possessions improves both mental clarity and time availability. Fewer objects mean fewer responsibilities. Consumer culture rarely explains this, focuses on acquisition rather than sustainability. But long-term comfort usually depends on the opposite strategy. Careful selection instead of constant accumulation. Motivation is also connected to environment. Studies show that people are more likely to complete tasks when the environment supports the behavior. A tidy workspace encourages work. A clear kitchen encourages cooking. A comfortable reading chair encourages quiet learning. When environments become chaotic, motivation decreases because every task requires additional effort just to begin. For people wondering where to start, the first step is awareness rather than dramatic change. Walk through your home slowly and observe each space. Notice where you feel relaxed and where you feel tension. Notice which objects serve real purpose and which objects simply exist. From there, small adjustments can create powerful change. Improve lighting, clear walking paths, reduce visual clutter. Group objects by function. Remove items that add maintenance but provide little value. Over time, the environment begins to support life instead of overwhelming it. Real comfort is not created by owning more. It is created by understanding how space, objects, and routines affect the mind. When environments become calmer, the mind becomes calmer. When daily life becomes simpler, satisfaction often increases. The goal is not minimalism as a trend or a rule. The goal is alignment. A home and lifestyle that match real needs, support real routines, and allow people to feel stable and content in everyday life. Comfort is not a product that can be purchased. It is the result of thoughtful design, intentional choices, and environments that respect how the human mind actually works. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.